Hello there and welcome back here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into News Flash. A very good morning to you. If you just joined us here on the show, do not forget to be a part of it by going on our WhatsApp line, our social media handles, and contributing to the shows today. Conversations we're going to be having over here this morning, for example, has to do with the front pages of the newspapers, and also we get into our major conversations like we do almost every time. Do not forget that we've got the representations from the various political parties, and I'm talking about the NPP and NDC joining us this morning, as always, for us to get into the issues so we're talking about. But before we even get into that, let me remind you that this week something special will be coming your way, and you need to be a part of that. And so there are three things that I'll be telling you that will be happening here on this very channel, and I want you to make sure that you're making time and enjoying every bit of it. We'll start off on Friday at 8 p.m. We'll bring you on a more serious note, and that's where you get to be entertained and also, just laugh, and have fun on a Friday nights like that. We always make sure that we get you entertained. So please, at 8 p.m., myself and my partners, in fact, I call them, will be joining you wherever you are, your homes, your phones, and every single place that you can actually watch us, and we'll be bringing you that here on Joy Prime. So do not forget, 8 p.m. sharp this Friday. And then moving into the weekend, on Sundays, we'll bring you something to begin your week, and start off with getting some recipes that can enhance your cooking skills. We're talking about Big Chef Junior. We've started, and it's getting even interesting, and we need you to be a part of it. So the young gangs who have got skills when it comes to cooking good food are actually on their way to making it even better for you. So make sure at 5 p.m. you tune into Joy Prime and watch and vote for your favorite so they can, emerge as winners. All right. So yeah. 5 p.m. sharp, Big Chef Junior will be coming your way. And then at 7:30 p.m., we'll bring you what we call the Step Up. Step Up is a game that makes you get some money as well. So you can even sit in the comfort of your homes and be winning some money for yourself. And so please do well. Kindest courtesy, Syntex Tank. We're making sure that your Sunday evenings are always the best, and you'll be entertained. And whilst being entertained, you get to win some money for yourself as well. So why not? Let's make it happen. Pizza Man, the Chicken Man, says that we're bringing you some more deals as we are still in the new year. Now, the New Year fever is still on, and our branches in Accra and Kumasi, we're making sure that you get to enjoy good food. And if you have a friend who is always calling you about the size of the family and how they can have something, to eat without spending too much, tell them that Pizza Man the Chicken Man is looking for them, actually. Yeah, they have been in search of them for the longest. And so they should make their way there and enjoy good food. There's nothing more exciting than eating good food and paying less. It's not like you're eating some bad food. This is food that you can sit and say, it's just like my wife preparing it in the house, or it's just like me doing it in the house. Well, taking time to cook and all of that, and you're paying less for that. I mean, what else could it rather be? All right? So do well and make your way to our branches and enjoy all the good food we're bringing you wherever you are. This Val's Day, they say Valentine is coming. Where is your boyfriend? Where is your girlfriend? I know you have, and I know you've been wanting to surprise that person. You want to make that Valentine Day a special one for that loved one. And so we're asking you to be a part of our most photogenic couple. Now, all you have to do is very simple. So take a picture with your partner, a very exciting picture, very nice. It has to be very, very nice because we're looking at the beauty of the picture as well. So when you do, you send it to us. Now, do well to tell us a story about that picture and what makes you guys unique, what makes you exciting couple, something small about yourself, and then you send it to us. We're going to post it on our social media page. The picture that has the most engagement, will be selected. So we select a few of them that has the most engagement, and then we'll bring you guys together, get to know each other, ask a few questions, and all of that. And you can be making your way to winning some amazing prizes from us. We're talking about a spa treat. We're talking about some hampers and all of that, a weekend stay. We also have our 12 days to Valentine. That stories we'll be sharing with, our viewers and all of that. So there's a package. There's something really in this that you want to be a part of it. We've got some entries, and the entries keep coming. All right, so send it to our WhatsApp line. Our WhatsApp line It's always on your screens, and once you're able to do so, we're going to just screen them, and then we're good to go, all right? Are you the most photogenic couple? You're the one, then you're the one we're looking for, all right? So yeah, let's make it happen. We're telling you some more about the beautiful things that you'll be wearing here on the show. But we're going to begin with, this morning, the front pages of the newspapers, and then we'll attack the issues. Now we're looking at the NPP primaries, the new entrants that will be making it to Parliament. We'll also be taking a look at the ripple effect of ECOWAS breakout. We'll take a look at that as well. And the EC is in the process of making sure that we vote in November instead of December. We'll look at that conversation also here on the show as well. Former President Mahama has also spoken about elections 2024, and he thinks that the NPP has nothing to offer Ghanaians anymore. They have got only 10 months to make that happen, but he thinks that they do not have anything to offer Ghanaians. We'll be looking at that issue too as well. But of course, you can send your messages ahead of time, and I'll be introducing my guest to you in a couple of minutes. But let's go to the front page of the various newspapers, and I'll start off with the Daily Graphic. The Daily Graphic says that 2.5 years after moving traders, Agbogloshi, land lies waste, and opification, refuse dumping takeover. You remember the famous Agbogloshi, clear out, which brought a lot of issues and all of that. It's been 2.5 years already. We still do not know what exactly we're using that place for, and that has been reported now. Pristia Bogoso mine not under care, maintenance, says Minerals Commission. And Ghana Health Service Interpol chases steady leave defaulters. That's page 13. It's got a story on that. You can read about it. Indigenous business is critical to economic revival. President John Mahama says so. The former President John Mahama speaks on that. Page 16 and 17 has got a story. You can read about it. December polls, don't sell your conscience to politicians. Reverend Dr. Markway tells voters. And that's the front page of the Daily Graphic. At the back page, Ivorians eye further AFCON glory. And yes, they keep surprising everybody with the way they're going about things in the AFCON. You know that they are one of the teams that didn't really start well, just like the Black Stars did. But they have been able to actually cement that, and they are making some great impact in the ongoing AFCON. Hopefully we get to see them lifted as, host nations. I would love them to actually, pick it up. And so, yeah. Ghana secures $700,000 share of AFCON prize money. But we spent over 8.5 million for that. Now, the revelations that are coming out from this AFCON thing, if you take a look at it, you'll be very, very sad for this country, a country that is actually, merely surviving on debt, If the Black Stars are spending an amount of money, and if you look at it from 2019 all the way down, if you look at the figures, it's very, very, very sad. But you see, when you talk about it, people think that you're going out for the GFA or Kerokreko. But you see, it's a problem. It's a serious problem that we all have to take a look at. The spendings of the Black Stars for the tournaments that we play do not make sense. And, to think about the fact that we don't even get returns for it. We go and then we mess up and people just spend the money and then they come back and nothing happens. I can't support that kind of thing, you understand? So for me, it's the women's team, and it's going to be the women's team forever, really. Yeah. The Ghanaian Times is here this morning on the front page. It says that fight against corruption, OSP's powers must expand to ensure effective corruption fight. Special prosecutor says so. Mr. Kisiya, anyway. Some commentaries that sometimes come out of the OSP's office and all of that, when you listen to them, it's as if we're not really doing anything seriously with this OSP's office and all of that. But he's almost every time also coming up with reasons why he cannot do his job, or he's not able to do his job to full capacity, and nothing seems to be done about it. And then there'll be reports about what has been given to him and what he has taken and all of that, what he's been spending and all of that. And then you still come back and you ask, so are we ever going to get to the bottom of this? But that's what it is. He's actually asking for powers expansion. I don't know if that will be given to him, but that's the OSP for you. Two locked up 45 years for robbing banker at gunpoint, and Minerals Commission promises to protect Pristia Bogoso mine and jobs, dispels mine under care and maintenance claim, and new Subin parliamentary candidate elect sets record, vows to increase votes for the NPP. On the back page, AFCON 2023, Cote d'Ivoire stand holders Senegal in shootout, and Cape Verde has more to prove. That's also at the back page of the Ghanaian Times. Let's get into the Daily Guide newspaper this morning. On the front page, it says 2024 elections, parties want a November date. And the EC Jen Mensah has been captured over there on the front page. And dead, Dr. Grace Boadu Kumasi hear about Dr. Dead. And that's the very sad story that has been trending on social media. And all of a sudden, people are pulling up, videos of where she left, the mansion, cars, and all of that. And I don't know why people do that. They don't put all these things out there when you're alive for people to know that you're successful or you're doing well. If you even do it yourself, that's also taken in a different, light. But the moment the person is gone, everybody start posting things about their rich lives and what they have and what they never had and all of that. Is it really necessary? Some people are getting to know about her properties for the very first time. And so I don't know why people do that, but that's what it is. Men's Gold extorted customers, witnesses. So Ghana maintains corruption index position. And I remain committed to NPP. That's also on the front page of the Daily Guide. And at the back page, GFA EXCO member slams Chris Hutton, and journalist banned for attacking Jesus, and also restoring Black Stars shine. Agama shows the way. Ivory Coast sends Senegal packing. And the title holders have actually exited the competition. And also, we get into some Ghana Models Awards announces campaign, and Beauty Queen wanted for alleged drug trafficking, and Kanye West seizes paparazzi's phone, and that's what it is. And Republic says Cecilia Dapa was not over as Yoko commences probe. Ghana marks time again, scores 43 out of 100. Kisia Jabin replies critics as he defends office against scrapping calls, and that's the Republic Press this morning, and that'll be all for the newspapers here on News Flash. We're now going to get into our major conversation. We'll start off by introducing the guests in the studio. So over here, I have the NDC representative is the National Communications Team member joining us this morning. He's the family to this family. E.A. Metal Nunu Jr. is always, here and 7 for, the party and for country. Bro, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, KMG.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Good to see you too. Yeah.
I like your, don't say you like mine. Today's
Although you're always looking good, You're always looking good. Yeah.
I try. So we're gonna get into the issues. So for the benefit of NPP representative, we're going to be looking at the issue of the EC, and then we'll come back to the NPP primaries, so we can have a proper look at it. Stallion Nyako will be joining us. He's a member of the NPP communication team, and he'll be joining us this morning here on the show for us to take a look at that. But let's begin with the EC. So for the purposes of our viewers out there, now the Electoral Commission EC has clarified that over 50% of political parties have approved their proposal to hold this year's presidential and parliamentary elections in November. Now, at an inter-party advisory committee, which is IPAC, meeting held on Monday, the 29th of January, the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, and some other political parties rejected the proposal from the election management body for polls to open in November instead of the conventional December timeline. Now, while the NDC opposed the change, citing concerns about organizing a smooth election within the proposed time frame, the governing New Patriotic Party, the NPP, is yet to decide on the matter. Now, the Director of Elections and ICT for the NDC, Dr. Edward Omane-Boama, stated that the EC must be very cautious with their decision and approach when it comes to moving the date from December to November. So if you're hoping that you're going to vote on 7th of December, we may or may not do so, depending on how this meetings of IPAC actually, pans out eventually. But that's one of our conversations for this morning. We're going to be starting off with that, and then we'll move on to the others. We have been joined by Stallion Nyako here on the show. Stallion, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Kay. I'm blessed. Good spirit too. And good morning to your viewers. It's been a very hectic. The last weekend has been very hectic for us.
I know, I understand. The job is the job.
I'm happy to be here. I brought very good news for you.
Is it?
My own backyard.
What is happening
now
there?
primaries. I don't know if you followed.
I did.
You did. You saw it. Now Blakuma West, our able, competent, bold representation that we've had in Parliament. Member of Parliament for Blakuma West, Mrs. S. Lousu Kufo, delivered a trouncing. She floored her opponent by what will pass for a landslide, about 817 votes to 241 votes. It tells you that
That's a good margin.
huge margin. Tells you that the party in unison has spoken that we are poised to keep the new patriotic party in government and to keep some of our very knowledgeable, bold representatives like Mrs. Eslousu Ekufo in Parliament. Having said that, let me take the opportunity to congratulate the entirety of our party, the leadership of the new patriotic party, particularly in Blakuma West, our bold delegates, the delegates, about 1,112 of them who were expected to vote in that election. The elections was conducted in a very peaceful atmosphere, peaceful, free, fair, and you could see that in the end we have kept our place as the most formidable group when democratic tenets are concerned. So, okay, this morning is good time for us. It's good time for us, and we are going to run on this victory base, and then make sure that we sing good time. You mentioned the Electoral Commission. I think that's what you.
Yeah, we're going to get. I'll start off with Metsu, so you can relax a bit since you just joined us.
Please do.
No.
KMG.
The EC. It started like, quote unquote, a common news, and now we're headed to processes and all of that. What does it mean to the political parties?
All right, thank you very much, KMG, and a very good morning to your cherished US, and a good morning to all Ghanaians. You know, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is still on his building Ghana tour, and yesterday he was in the Eastern region, and you could see the love the people of the Eastern region had for the party. He started off from Isojaman before moving to Koforidua. And you could see that Ghanaians all over, since he began his building Ghana tour, are yearning for change. They are fed up and tired with this current government. Now, moving to the Electoral Commission and the issues about the voting date in November. You see, the NDC has been clear with our Director of Elections. You know, for some time, the NDC, we opted out of IPAC. But recently, the new leadership of the NDC, led by Chairman General Johnson Asiedu Nketia, with Director of Elections, Dr. Maneboama, General Secretary Fifi Kweti, and the entire national executives of the NDC decided that NDC was going to go back to IPAC. And if there's any discussion that has to be held, there's any views that we need to express on electoral issues, we're going to express it at IPAC and make our views clear over there. You look at the background why IPAC was formed. Under Dr. Kojo Afaijan, you got to a point, there are decisions that IPAC is not necessarily binding on the Electoral Commission. But if you look at the West African sub-region, you look at Africa at large, and even the world, you realize that most of the times when you have conflicts, you have civil wars and all that, most of them, about 99% of them, arise from electoral disputes. About 99% of them arise from electoral disputes, arise from people entrenching themselves in power. It has to do with things concerning elections and change of power. Okay, so in the wisdom of Dr. Kojo Afaijan, we needed to bring all political parties or stakeholders together. And if the need be for us to have any electoral reforms, we all discuss over there and then we accept it. So it wouldn't be like you are going to have surprises on anybody. but everybody, all the political parties or the stakeholders regarding elections come to a consensus. One of the reasons why the NDC opted out of IPAC was the fact that it got to a point in time under the leadership of Jane Mensah as the electoral commissioner. Anytime we go to IPAC and discussions are held at IPAC and decisions taken at IPAC, you realize that it's a different communique or it's a different action that the Electoral Commission comes out to embark on. Sometimes you realize that there's going to be an IPAC meeting tomorrow, and on that same day, that is when the NDC will be giving invitation or sometimes giving wrong dates and time for the invitation. So it got to a point in time that the NDC thought that the IPAC was a white elephant. It wasn't necessary because whatever discussions were held there, it looked like the Electoral Commissioner had her own advisory body outside. That after discussions are held there, when that decision is taken outside IPAC, that is what is binding on her, and then she is forced to implement that. So NDC opted out. But the civil society organizations, Peace Council, Ghanaians at large, all called for the biggest opposition party, the National Democratic Congress, and the government in waiting in 2025 to go back to IPAC so that we can make our views heard over there. So it was surprising that the first IPAC meeting that was held and discussions held over there. And as part of the discussions, the issue of the voting date in November came up again. And for your viewers to know, that wasn't the first time issue of voting date in November had come up. Way back in 2016, that issue came up of voting dates in November. And it ended in Parliament. And the required number of parliamentarians to vote, the two-third number for them to vote to be able to accept that voting date, they were not able to get that required number. So it was thrown out. If the Electoral Commissioner, Jane Mensah, looking at the stakes of the 2024 elections, looking at the interest in the 2024 election, has any major electoral reforms to make. She was there in 2021, she was there in 2022, she was there in 2023, and she didn't bring up these issues for discussion and major electoral changes. She didn't bring them up. An election year, January is almost ended, so in February. And Jane Mensah decides, or the Electoral Commission, decide that is when they will bring up issues of discussion on a major change like voting months from December to November. And you should know that constitutionally, from the 7th December to the 7th of January, when the swearing in of the new parliament and the new president will be, it's also constitutional. The number of required days for you to do that. So if you're changing it from December to November, also then you need to do some amendments with the constitution.
But I'm sure they've taken a look at all of these.
Up to now, the Electoral Commission has not even given us their timetable or their calendar for the year regarding these elections. And we should know that the Electoral Commission is also supposed to do a major registration exercise this year. And because we as stakeholders...
You think they are capable of handling all of
the Electoral Commission, they are not capable of handling it. As of now, they've not even given us their calendar for the year. We are supposed to know the calendar so that all stakeholders and political parties prepare adequately to meet them. We are supposed to know that at this point in time or at this month, we are going to hold registration exercises so the political parties, we can prepare. We are supposed to know that the exhibition will be done around this time. We are supposed to know that BU will be done around this time. You cannot get stand up and have not even given us a calendar for the year. And what you think about is about organizing or changing a major date of election from 7 December to November. KMG, even in the just ended district assembly elections, even in the just ended registration exercise before the district assembly election, we had a lot of biometric machines breaking down. We had a lot of them breaking down in the registration exercise.
Yeah. Where
at certain points you realize that registration was slow because machines were off. We had at certain points internet down. So you realize that they had to move offline. These are major issues.
Those are technical issues.
Those are technical issues. And even happened in the district assembly elections. At my polling center, Christian Preparatory, at the point the machines were off. We started voting late.
Would it have impact on the date change?
So I'm telling you that there are pressing issues for the Electoral Commission to be concerned about. And at IPAC meeting, majority of the political parties, contrary to the statement made by the TESCON patron, who now calls himself the Deputy Electoral Commissioner, Bossman Asari. He was a TESCON patron at UG, and today he finds himself as the Deputy Electoral Commissioner.
Is he the one who's...
And instead...
Or it is his duty?
And instead
is it his
of thinking about the nation, instead of thinking about the interest of Ghanaians, instead of thinking about safeguarding the peace of Ghana, instead of thinking about promoting a free and fair election, what they are concerned about is changing voting date from 7 December. Is that really important at this point in time? Where we've just had a test case to the main election with the district assembly elections, and we saw the challenges that came up, where we have issues where there were people who voted multiple times because of the non-use of indelible ink. I said, we have all these evidences there. So these are issues that we should look at. The Electoral Commission at this point in time should be looking at things that will promote a free, fair, and credible elections so that all stakeholders and all political parties will accept the result of the 2024 general elections.
Okay.
The stakes are too high in this election for anybody to commit this kind of mistake. We only have one Ghana. I don't even know where my passport is. I don't remember the last time I saw my passport. So if they think they have anywhere to go, if they think they have other countries they can go, they can leave this country anytime when anything happens, so they don't care about the ordinary masses. They don't care about Ghanaians in entirety. They should think twice.
Okay.
We have only one Ghana.
Very well.
Mr. Electoral Commissioner, we beg you, and we beg you, this is not what was decided at IPAC. We didn't decide at IPAC that we're going to hold elections in November for you to even take steps to be able to make that happen. It wasn't decided at IPAC. And Peace Council and all the necessary authorities that be, they should come. They shouldn't sit down and be quiet and wait till the last minute before they start talking.
Great. So the NPP was undecided, right?
KJ,
Yeah.
it's shocking listening to the NDC speak in this tone about the Electoral Commission. I'm sitting here and I'm in shock.
What was the shocking about?
It is the NDC that's always espoused this belief that the whole electoral setting of our country has inbuilt systems to check defects and problems. That was the I don't know what to say, the chorus of then President John Dramani Mahama in the wake of every concern by then opposition New Patriotic Party in the run-up to the 2016 elections. He told us that it is a well-known strategy to start accusing when you sense you are losing an election or you are about losing an election. The stance and the approach taken by the gentleman here is a well-thought-out strategy. He uses the word age-old strategy. In fact, that's what he says.
That's in reference to the tenure of Madam Charlotte to say.
Then, that when the MPP then were raising concerns legitimately about processes, John Dramani Mahama, then as President of the Republic, told everybody that our electoral systems is embodied with inherent safeguards that check or has the ability to handle all of these contingencies and then issues that come up. And I'm even surprised that we are already sounding threats, talking about passports and whatnot. We've not gotten there yet. As you rightfully read, you read copiously that even the decision is inconclusive. Even the New Patriotic Party is yet to take a stance on that. So I'm surprised. You see, let me tell you, the level of desperation with the NDC and its highlands, I don't know what they want the power for. I don't know what their intents are. By the level of desperation they've started showing up in the run-up to the 2024 elections, it's worrisome. And it's too early in the day, very, very early in the day. We are only in January. And you are beating war drums, talking about passports, talking about you have nowhere to go and whatnot. Please, inviting the Peace Council. We have the checks. I believe so. Yes, nobody should dismiss the fact that there's a tendency of people manipulating systems. and causing a lot of problems. But just as John Mahama told us ahead of 2016, the checks are there. The constitutional provision that mandates the EC to handle elections has spelled out clearly. You've mentioned IPAC, that even the decision to change the date is inconclusive as it stands today. So why the hue and cry?
So then it becomes a common chorus that every opposition will sing. And then the political party in power will defend.
We are not saying do not raise legitimate claims. Do not beat
Because you did the same thing, and I'm sure the reason why the former president responded that way. So now they are doing so, and you're responding this way. It becomes the common chorus for everybody.
Let me strike the balance. KD, let me strike the balance. The balance is like the Constitution gives every citizen and every entity. You have the right to criticize. You have the right to raise concerns over every process you are a part of. But war drums. What's
war drum here?
Passports got, I don't even know where the last time I saw my passport got to do with an election process that is not even conclusive.
The NPP has never sung this song before.
The NPP as a party come to talk about passports.
Has never spoken about this before.
I'm sorry.
You have not had any of communications.
There has been no official
members speak about. We don't have any other country apart from Ghana.
Talking about members. We are talking about members on what matters.
He's the national communication member.
Fair enough.
It's the same thing I'm making reference to.
Fair enough.
In opposition, no political
that's why I say,
member from your team spoke about we have nowhere to go. We have only one Ghana.
The answers to the concerns or the reminder that we have only one Ghana and then he cannot find his passport have already been given by no mean a person than the leader of his party. The former President John Dramani Mahama has told us that our electoral processes has the needed safeguards. And anybody shouting his voice hoarse over a possibility of mishaps is only employing an age-old strategy. Is only sensing defeats. In fact, you've seen the turnaround the economy of our country is making. Our economy is making a very smooth turnaround. You can see the most of the.
I've not seen it yet because the common person on the street is still complaining.
You have inflation moving from a hopping 54% to lingering around lower than 20%. That's huge in a year. It should tell you you are able to access all of these your donor fundings, your major. We've
got external debt.
All of that major monumental projects. We were speaking about Accra to Kumasi roads when we were children. Remember the famous Accra to Kumasi road? Everybody calling for its dualization. The Ghanaian people saying that part is a death trap and should be dualized. It's happening. You can see major portions of it. You can see the of Fanko to Nsawam stretch expansions. Huge infrastructure.
And these are the reasons why the NDC is already complaining about EC?
Of the things the Ghanaian people have been talking about, despite all of the huge challenges we have today. Most of the things we have spoken about from time immemorial are happening under President Akufo-Addo. And the Akufo-Addo, we've seen monumental in quantum health facilities. Never has it happened in our history that one government is able to construct 111 health facilities concurrently. Hospital projects that were left and abandoned by them, by the NDC. I'm talking about the famous Eurojet project President Kufuor started. You remember? Yonah Kufuor, through negotiations with his Egyptian partners under Eurojet, introduced this whole project of constructing district hospitals across the country. NDC couldn't complete one. You know the irony.
The NPP has done so.
I'm glad there's a Rojo Metununu seated here. He's a Rojo Metununu Jr. When they assess funds to construct hospitals for us, his father told us that some portions of the funds were diverted to go and do research, elections research. And you know, he was so pained that after misapplying state funds for their political interests, then candidate John Dramani Mahama could not make good of the findings of the research. They were enemies. They were supposed to go and construct hospitals with Ghana's money. They diverted part of the funds to go conduct research into elections. His father then was the one handling those affairs. And you know why in the last presidential primaries, his father went against John Mahama. He went against you. He knows. He's here, seated here, does not even believe in John Dramani Mahama. I'm telling you, his father has told us.
How come?
His dad has told him that the man does not believe in proper structures, systems. His dad is Rojo Metununu. He complained. He wept that after making me lead a very important project like this, in very suspicious circumstances, NMS, using state funds to go conduct election research, I come and give you the electoral findings. John Dramani Mahama and your campaign, apply the findings to win an election, and you jettison it. And you come and blame me, Roger Metununu, that I could not police your ballot. And I'm not surprised he went supporting Kwamina Dufo in the last presidential primaries. So, okay, what is happening here? What is happening? He has somebody in his home who is very much versed in the matters, more than any of us here. More than any of us here. And they know, just as John Mahama has said, it is age-old strategy. Cry, whip, shout.
Well, the NPP agreed to this change.
Let me tell you, and that is why I see that our generation should try and carve a very distinct path from what we have seen from the popular trends. And let me applaud the leadership of my party. Let me applaud them for the pushing in these very critical matters.
Being undecided about matters.
No, undecided. You would have to consult, do extensive deliberations. You don't just come and do what he's done here. A constitutionally mandated body has made a proposal, then on the brink of, we will agree.
Because he mentioned there have been other issues that have contributed to their stance. He mentioned issues that have contributed to their stance. IPAC meetings, EC not involving them in situations where they have to also make contributions. All of that. He stated all of them.
Advisory body, an advisory body. The Constitution here, Article 43, that mandates or gives the EC power to go about these duties. Does not mention IPAC. The IPAC is the EC's own creation in its engagements with.
They have the feeling that the EC does not.
IPAC decisions cannot be binding on the EC. The EC is an independent body, KJ. You understand? It advises. So when you decide, typical of you, like a spoiled child who owns the football, and when the match is going against you, he carries the football and says, I'm taking it off the field. Very typical of them. When they win, it is fair. When they are losing, it's a problem. When after 2012, the New Patriotic Party went to court and the Supreme Court ruled in their favor. Hey, clad in white satin, Flagstaff House, touted Ghana's democratic credentials, touted our judicial credentials. Fast forward, they lose cases in the same court. And then John Dramani Mahama, we have an axe to grind with him. The level and the extent to which he's run down every single state institution he's benefited from. He loses cases in the court and then calls them unanimous 11, unanimous what? Whatever. Very, very, I don't want to use words, respectfully. I don't want to go there. But then, KJ, you see, this is where we must move from. This whole idea of bastardizing every single proposal that comes from the Electoral Commission. Ahead of the 2020 elections, John Mahama told us that there will be chaos, there will be war, because the EC had proposed compilation of a new voters register. He said it was not going to be possible. NDC and its pilings and assigns, they told us there was no way, the same excuses they are citing. We are too close to the elections. You cannot compile a new register. There will be war. He calls chiefs, calls members of the diplomatic community, people who sing against all forms of neocolonialism. Today, we're engaging foreign interests over electoral matters. John Mahama, because he wanted power, called members of the diplomatic committee to tell them that J. Mensah is pushing Ghana on the brink of civil war just because we wanted to compile a voters register. What happened? We had perhaps a very smooth electoral process in 2020. Very smooth. Concerning the proper aspects of the election. Very smooth. Was there war? Did anybody fight? But John Mahama had told us that if we should compile a register, in fact, NDC assigns warned that over their dead bodies would they allow the EC to compile the register. But you see, Ghana is a peace-loving country. Ghana is a country that has established its place rightfully as a beacon of peace and democratic credentials on the sub-region. And no single human being's political ambition should override this common belief of ours. And even if it should be, it should not be I'm coming. It should not be John Mahama. What does John Mahama want? What exactly is he looking for? You have been everything politics in this space. Everything. You've seen everything. In any jurisdiction, John Mahama should not have been allowed to contest the 2024 election. He should not have been. Are there no equally knowledgeable men in the NDC? Is the NDC not having men who can equally put themselves up for a presidential contest? Somebody who has risen from, I'm told, from even assemblyman. He was once assemblyman all of his life. From assemblyman to MP to deputy minister to minister, went to sleep one day, woke up the next morning from vice president to president. He's lived the entirety of his life at the benevolence of the Ghanaian taxpayer. Ghana for Sika,
Okay.
And such a person has his assigns talking about not finding their passports. Nobody's going.
Very well. Let's move on to the next issue. We're talking about the NPP having. Yeah, but you need to.
I've used it.
Okay.
So NPP not having their.
Yeah, over more than 40 people, of them go and new people go into parliament.
Yeah.
The impact that it will make in the next parliament.
Yeah, so KMG, you see, I'm not surprised that my brother from the NPP speaks like this. And I think that he doesn't have a lot of facts. If he cares to know, so for viewers, I was the deputy spokesperson for JM in the presidential campaign, while my dad was in the before camp for Gitaka. Hold on. I was quiet when you're talking. I was a deputy spokesperson for JM's campaign in Gitaka, whilst my dad was in the Communal before camp. You see, NDC believe in democracy. And even in the house, in the family, we believe in democracy. Nobody forces anybody to do anything. And it was such a lovely thing, you know. So if you look at most of the job that was done in Greater Accra, and you look at all the regions in the presidential primaries for John Dramani Mahama, you said Greater Accra had the highest votes for John Dramani Mahama, the percentage of votes for John Dramani Mahama in the presidential primaries. That was a key player over there. So again, I'm saying that my brother doesn't know the facts, so it's normal for him and their likes. It's normal for him and their likes to spew lies this early morning. Also, clearly he speaks about, I feel sad when I see young men sit on national television and take issues that has to do with election and electoral disputes for granted. And they don't show much interest, and then everything, they try to bring partisan politics in it. I feel sad when I say, yeah, young man, the future of this nation belongs to we, the young people. We cannot sit down for anybody because of their parochial interests to send this country into chaos, to send this country into war. And if you look across the world, if you look at the sub-region, most of the issues or conflicts that arises from electoral disputes. So if we, from the National Democratic Congress, have attended an IPAC meeting, and at that IPAC meeting, a consensus was built that all these major electoral reforms should be held in 2028 and not in 2024. Because even as we speak now in 2024, the calendar for the electoral year hasn't come out. For us to be thinking about these major reforms that are going to come. And we say, oh, your reforms that you want to do is in order. We don't even have the calendar. Let's all go 2028. And it was a consensus. Only for the patron of TESCON of Eugene, now Deputy Electoral Commissioner, Bosman Asari, to come out and announce that they were going to continue with those reforms and vote in November. That is sad. And I think as a young man, that we need to protect this nation. Whether NDC, NPP, let's come together and ensure the peace and security of this nation. Let's not put partisan politics in issues when it comes to election. And I'm telling you the challenges we faced in the just ended district assembly elections.
Let's
looking at as a test case and looking at that, we need to look at these things for. We need to look at these things. Look at these things for. You speak about inflation. Inflation from 54 to 23. That's my last one, and then I move to this one. 54 to 23. You see, inflation is 54 to 23. The price of bread today on the market, the price of bread today on the market, which you had tea bread, which was being sold at 50 pesos, being sold at 6 Ghana cedis today. Pure water sachets that the ordinary Ghanaian. That's every ordinary Ghanaian that they buy. A sachet of pure water. That was 1 cedi, 50 pesos. That today 11 cedis, 12 cedis. Olonka of Gary. That was 5 cedis. at the time that we handed over power. That is today 30 Ghana cedis or local of Gary. If inflation has come down, why is it that heart fare today, as of 2016, was 11,000? Today, 75,000. So when you say inflation has come down, how do we feel, Ghanaians? In your pocket, when you go to the market, when you go out to buy food, how do you feel? Do you see the prices of foodstuffs coming down? Has the cedi, the foreign exchange, do you see them coming down? No. They are cooking the figures just to satisfy IMF conditionalities. And we are saying that if we don't vote these people out, we are going to continue suffering as Ghanaians. NPP's parliamentary primaries and the number of people that have come out of parliament, about 40 of them, it shows the sinking boats. It shows that their boat is sinking. Because if you look at even the number of appointees, about 9 of the appointees lost the elections in their parliamentary primaries. And their parliamentary primaries, that should have been an example of what we did during our primaries, so that it enhances the democracy of Ghana. What do we see? Somewhere in Farouk Mohammed's constituency, what do we see over there in Yendi? Ballot boxes being snatched, NPP officials with authority from their general secretary announcing results. What do we see in the elections? And in one parliamentary candidate buying over 500 motorbikes, in addition to monies given to delegates. Honorable Api Akubi said if this amount of money he's going to spend again, he's not going to come back to contest for parliamentary primaries.
The NDC has been there before.
He's not going to come back to parliamentary primaries. Today, the topic you've given me, KMD.
We've seen the NDC.
The topic you've given me, KMD. But you know, KMD, the topic you've given me is NPP parliamentary primaries. Like,
no, but when you mention issues that are very synonymous to other parties.
No, we didn't share motorbikes.
You know that I'm going
we didn't share motorbikes. No, we didn't share motorbikes.
You didn't share what?
We didn't share motorbikes. 500 motorbikes, one parliamentary candidate.
Are you talking about the quantum, or you're talking
we
about
didn't snatch ballot boxes in our parliamentary primaries?
In every other political.
But we didn't share motorbikes.
Yeah,
did we have evidence of
motorbikes? There were
motorbikes?
times that the former president was giving monies for transport.
We are talking about presidential. You're comparing apples to oranges.
No, but
I'm telling you that in their parliamentary. I'm saying that in their parliamentary primaries.
Using monies to
in their parliamentary primaries.
Yeah.
In their parliamentary primaries. All the civil society organizations have said that, see, you cannot take money entirely out of this internal politicking. But the quantum of monies that you put in. And as a politician, young politician, as a young politician, I agree to some extent to that. You can't take money entirely out.
You wouldn't have given more than that if you were in power?
I wouldn't have given more than that. We've never given more than that. We give reasonable. You know transportation.
What is
transportation
reasonable?
From Kokomemle here to Circle, you know how much it costs. So if I'm asking a delegate to move and come and vote, and at least going to spend the whole day, you know how much
you have
it's going to
less
cost.
to give,
so
and that's why you're giving less.
You give them that amount. Even when we were in power, we didn't give that much.
Really?
Even when we were in power, we didn't give that much. But today, I thank God in their just ended primaries that at least they did some service to Ghanaians. Because this time around, we didn't see their items and their pickups that were being shared on a large scale. We saw them only in minimal quantities. And when you talk about violence, and it's a major concern. See, electoral officials flee at the end. Electoral officials flee. And NPP officials, the original chairman, with power given to him by their general secretary, endorsed the parliamentary candidates. And you saw the statement from the Electoral Commission that they have nothing to do with it. It makes me think about these people. You see, they never change. That is their DNA. That is their lifestyle. In 2004, late Jacob Echebilante, ahead of the Electoral Commission, declared a presidential result. In 2024, parliamentary primaries, internal, where ballot boxes were snatched, violence there, and people flee. You find NPP officials declare results. Another interesting one about violence was my own friend and trade minister, Katie Amos Gonzalez. Before, the videos were there. I saw some on your network where he made a clear statement, and I think Ghanaians and the media have not even paid attention to it. He's going to beat his opponent to pulp. And if he doesn't even know why, his guy, who was holding an AK-47, did not even fire. And police officers were there, helpless. They were just pampering him. It's a serious statement to make. There's an internal election. Internal election amongst themselves, the elephants. Imagine what's going to happen. And in 2020...
But is that contributing to the more than 40 people that
More than 40 people is all contributing because people use monies to be able to get themselves in. Some of them willingly didn't go, like Oseche Mensah, some experienced man. But even them, there are people lost. Most of those who won, you saw how they were using money. Some of them had to use violence to be able to get themselves retained in Parliament. You saw another case like Sarah Adjoa Safo's constituency. Hers was a clear example of she shouldn't have even contested because with the way not only treated the NPP party, but the way she treated Ghanaians. Because once you are voted as a member of parliament, you are not voted as an NPP member of parliament. You are voted as a member of parliament for the people of Domi Kwabenya. For you to abandon your office for over 2 years and you see the way she treated we as Ghanaians, not only her political party, because at the point they needed her votes to pass some of their major bills and they brought to parliament like the e-levy, etc. But I think the way she treated Ghanaians and parliament as a whole, it was uncalled for. So I think she shouldn't have gone. So if you look at all these things, one of the reasons why a lot of new faces have come and into their parliamentary primaries, which majority, I'm predicting not more than 100 MPs, NPP MPs winning in the next parliament. And today you can take a record, I'm predicting no more than 100 NPP MPs. See, the boat is sinking. And they themselves, they know the boat is sinking. They know they're not coming back to power. Most of them have decided not to contest. Some of them have decided not to contest.
The NDC will have majority?
Some NDC will have a clear majority in the next parliament. And mark my words today. See, the tour of the John Dramani Mahama building Ghana tour, if you go around and you see how people, the most attractive political party in Ghana today is the National Democratic Congress. The most attractive candidate in the 2024 election is John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama is the man the people of Ghana are calling for. Is the man people of Ghana have their hopes in to come and liberate them from the curse called themselves NPP that have been imposed on Ghana.
Is this new?
Is this new that...
The reaction to Mohammed's campaign from the people, is it new?
But the love, it's not new.
When we had even the sitting president go to places you and I would never thought he would go. Muhammad just going down on that threat right now. Is this something new? Is this something we're seeing different?
But it's something you're seeing different. You see genuine love.
People's reactions will always be the same. When they
are candidates. They are candidates.
And power is not doing
what
they want them to do.
They are candidates. Yes. So you agree.
So it's a common reaction.
So you agree.
It's a common reaction.
That Ghanaians won't change. So you agree that Ghanaians won't change. That's why they're reacting that way.
That's what I'm saying. What makes the difference?
In 2016, we saw that and we lost power. In 2016, when His Excellency Nanado was going around promising heaven and earth, 1 district, 1 factory, 1 village, 1 dam, 1 constituency, $1 million per year. And it was going around. We saw how people were getting attracted to him. People were following him. And it was a normal reaction. And it reflected in the results. And in 2024, on the John Dramani Mahama store, who is giving realistic promises, telling Ghanaians what he will do when he comes to power, not just telling Ghanaians anything because he wants to win presidential elections.
Capitalizing on this.
He's not capitalizing anything. Right now, this is a man who has told you that, see, when I come to power, I need some space to clear the ruts that they've created. This is a man who has told you that it's not because of political power I'm going to make certain promises. I'm going to tell you what I can do. Because today, we should know that the NPP, they've chewed the flesh and chewed the bones, and there's nothing left in the plate. You need an innovative and a creative leader who's dedicated, committed, and has integrity and trustworthy like John Dramani Mahama to be able to come and liberate Ghanaians, to save Ghanaians, to cleanse us from the disease called NPP. And Ghanaians are showing it and reacting to it. And we know it will reflect in the 2024 general elections.
Okay. Let me come to you and then I'll take some comments. Stalin.
KJ, foremost, let me commend the leadership of our party. National Chairman Stephen Ayesu in team, General Secretary Justin Kudua Frimpong, and the entire National Executive Committee of our party for the very impressive primaries we conducted over the weekend. We are only 6 constituencies shy from getting the total complement of our team for the parliamentary elections in 2024. The 6 constituencies are logged in some legal tussle. And he says, let me clear this, 40 members of parliament not returning to the house from our side. let me clear. Not all of them went for the contest. 19 of them on their own volition said they will not run again. Yeah. Some of them, like the majority leader, is in his seventh term as an MP. He's been in the House for 7 terms. So on his own, he decided that I won't run again. 19 of such cases. So out of 40, you are already taking out 19, you understand? So when you make this wild deduction that because more than 40 people are not coming back to the parliament, 40 MPs are not coming back to parliament, so it's indicative of a sinking boat. It means you don't know what you are talking about, you understand? You clearly do not know what the issues are. And like I said, the members of parliament, some of them, a sizable number of them, decided not to run on their own. Some ministers also fell through the cracks, could not return.
Others also lost.
Yes, or about
MPs
9 of them. That's democracy. That's democracy. And I'm happy that our party is getting to the point where we allow the constitutionally, I mean, when I say constitutional, I mean our party's constitutionally mandated reps to choose in every space who their leadership should be. And you saw it. Some stalwarts of our party had contests in my own backyard in Ablekuma West. You saw a stalwart like Mrs. Eslo Usu Kufu coming up against Ronnie McCall. And you saw the decision of the delegates voting overwhelmingly for her, exercising good judgment, telling you that we are ready to keep Ablekuma West as one of the seats the NPP will be counting. And I'm surprised. I get shocked when I listen to this Highland. John Mahama Highland seated next to me here. That's what I call them. Inflation. The fact that inflation is falling, let me school him. The fact that inflation is falling does not mean prices would fall. Inflation only captures the rate of increment in prices. Please, do you understand? Yeah. Do you understand? Clearly, this is basic. I'm not sure he has his hands around. Just so let's do some public education. You understand? We are the purpose of such platforms is to educate. So when inflation is falling, it does not mean prices should fall. It means the rate of increments, the rate at which the prices were rising, which hitherto was at a very terrible 54 because of the circumstances we all know. It's now easing and hovering around the 20s. It tells you that we are making huge gains towards restoring normalcy. But appendages, highlands, assigns of John Dramani Mahama should never, ever, and I'm saying on your platform, be seen talking anything economy of our Ghana. Maybe I should remind them. The John Mahama record on our economy can never be contained in any political space on the globe. John Dramani Mahama was vice president until 24th of July, 2012, when the respected professor of blessed memory, may he so rest in perfect peace, John Evans Atame was passed. And for me, I am NPP to the heart. I see that the biggest tragedy that befell our efforts and developments under the Fourth Republic was 24th of July, 2012, when John Evans Atame died. And let me tell you why. Before John Mills assumed the reins of governance, before he assumed the reins of, the then NPP government had projected that we were going to hit 1 million tons of cocoa. You remember? Yeah. They had found oil. True to it, regardless of how slow Atamel's was. We hit 1 million tons of cocoa. Oil proceeds kicked into our national coffers for the first time in 2011. In 2011, Ghana received oil proceeds. Please pay key attention to the trajectory I am building. In 2011, we received oil proceeds in our economy for the first time. 2011. Pay attention. From 2011 to 24th July 2012, Professor Moff passes and John Mahama became president. From 24th of July to February 2013, John Mahama was in parliament telling us that an economy that in 2011 got oil proceeds grew 14% and was the fastest growing economy on the globe. He had eaten the meat to to the bone. February 2013, State of the Nation's address in Parliament. And pay attention to the dates. 24th July, you received oil proceeds in 2011. Grew your economy by 14%. That had never happened in your history. And from 24th July to 2013, barely a year, right? Yes, under a year. You could, I don't know what word to use. Is it embezzle? Is it squeeze? Because oil proceeds, you are talking about oil money for the first time in your national kit. Run it down the meat to the bone and come and tell everybody. And you know how he did this? That is the famous 2012 elections that went to the Supreme Court, where we saw young university girls riding, and you see the way they desecrated the memory of this man. For John Mahama, I'm not surprised. And I'm telling him, maybe if nobody has told him, I am telling him here, and quote me here today, he will get very close to the presidency. Very close. Every single indication will look like him winning, but he will never win. Right today's date, I'm telling you. For the level of desecration he gave to this man's memory. Somebody you claim is your whatever, mentor, your idol. The man passes under very mysterious circumstances. And I've said this story here, 24th July 2012. Passes under very mysterious...
Now they've turned themselves into doctors.
Please.
Or they are the family of Professor.
A man who was hail hearty in the morning.
They are crying more than they breathe.
Hail hearty in the morning. The family has gone
they've turned themselves into
to the presidency for the first time. Asking the president of the republic to produce a copy of the autopsy. Please.
So you in NPP,
relax.
You cry more than us.
Relax, let me finish.
You cry more than the brief.
Relax, let me finish.
You cry more than the brief. Tell us the circumstances that led to the death of Bawumia's aide.
KJ, are you going to control your show?
Go ahead.
Tell us.
Go ahead.
2012. The man passes under very mysterious circumstances. And when you were throwing vehicles at university girls who had never worked before, your party assigns had the nerve to call the vehicles Atakambu. Are you people serious? Call the cars Atakambu. Somebody who had worked so hard for you.
And the former president engineered that?
Obviously, you sat. You superintended over that. When your people were calling, what's the name of the vehicle? The I-10 vehicles they gave to the Legon girls.
What shows that he was the one who engineered that?
I said he superintended over that.
Wow.
There was no time, no instance where he called his people out. Don't do this to the memory of Professor Mills. You cannot call those vehicles Atakambu. You gave these vehicles to these young girls. It
doesn't also mean that it was the one who...
Have you ever heard of that name?
When
have you ever heard of that name? You shouldn't sit down. You shouldn't sit down to allow him.
Wait. That's why I'm asking questions
you shouldn't sit down for him to speak.
Relax. If you interject, he's not going to make the point that he wants to make.
But you don't say Brony.
When they gave out...
You want to go on that level?
I'm not going on that level.
I'm trying to let him stop that, and you're also going on that level.
When they gave the vehicles out to the girls, in the bid of to win an election, they won the election in 2012. And I've told you that I'm building the points that John Dramani Mahama should be the last person to talk about an economy. And I've told you, after getting oil proceeds in 2011, the first time oil money hit our coffers, in 1 year, he could tell us he had eaten the meat to the bone. And I'm telling you how they did eat the meat to the bone. They had to break the bank to win that election in 2012. Rightfully so.
They had to break which bank?
The coffers of the country dissipated to win an election. And I showed you how. Then, with all of the symbols and tokens, call the vehicles Atakambu. Come and stand in parliament and tell us that. Come and stand in parliament and tell us that.
Atakambu, I don't know about that. You're talking about 2012.
Yes, I'm talking about 2012. I'm coming. I'm building them.
There was no Atakambu in 2012.
Oh, they were. The I-10 vehicle. You saw them. They branded with John Mahama images.
It was
It
was not like Atakambu.
You can talk to your people here. They know what I'm talking about.
No.
Your producers here know. It was not Atakambu.
They have an idea.
Well, I'm telling you.
What we know was the...
KJ.
And if you're talking about the same 2012, we all know.
KJ.
There was nothing like Atakambu.
KJ, there was. I'm coming.
Where? In the space of the NPP?
The NPP and DC assigns were mentioned at Takambu because by then, you know something? They were so bent on making capital out of Professor Mills' unfortunate passing that every little thing they want to associate him with. So they thought giving those vehicles to those girls.
The memory of a man.
Please. You are
lies.
Giving those vehicles to those girls. And right, it went.
The memory of a man.
They won the election. Now watch. Won the election. Right after winning, John Mahama jets to New York. I've said that story here before, on this very platform. Jets to New York to go and launch a book. And what is the title of the book? my first coup d'etat. Hey, KG. Okay?
How's the connection?
A man you claim.
How's the connection?
What's a coup d'etat?
How's the connection?
So let me show you the connection. What's a coup d'etat? A coup d'etat is a forceful removal of what? Constitutionally
President from
presidential.
office.
Yes, from office. Yes, and the use of nuances. Somebody you say is an idol, who was your leader, your superior. Passes.
No. I would discuss NPP
I'm coming. Let me finish. Let me make my point.
Hold on. So the former president passes on, and there's no mysterious or whatever it is.
There was.
Relax.
He was carried.
No, relax. We've all heard the story of how the former
Let me
president
hear you.
passed on. These stories that we've heard have never been in any way proven factual.
Yeah.
So let's not make it look as
I've not made.
No.
Okay.
No. When you say mysterious, there was mysterious. Relax, Stalin. Relax. We've heard stories which have not been proven factual. So I don't want us to make it look like it was a mysterious death that you know why he died. Unless you're ready to tell me that.
Okay, now let me finish. Let me make
Right.
my point. When I finish, you can maybe help him.
I'm trying to clear. I want us to go straight to the point.
I'm going straight to the point.
NPP Parliamentary Primaries.
We don't make it look like we're
You
trying to,
Professor Mills. How?
No. You just he's gonna go back again, and we're not finished this. So let's not.
That's how difficult it becomes for you when you are selling.
You were speaking about inflation and all that.
You know why I brought in inflation?
So let's end up on that.
Let me finish. So let me not go there.
The pleasant memory of.
No, you know why? When we mentioned this, Professor Mills.
So you
was the president? Wait. Professor Mills was the president
as the former president. I understand, but don't speak to the issue of his memories.
Okay. President Mills was the president.
All this coup d'etat and everything.
Professor John Evans Atta Mills was the leader who achieved for the longest period single-digit inflation for the longest period. I've told you. You see, let's not take this very priceless discussion away from the Ghanaian voter. We must tell them. We must let them understand.
But let's not rub in his memory as well. How he died and where we died and all of
that. No, when you have a John Dramani Mahama today, confidently go out there and make certain claims. And
claims as what?
Like he just said, he won't promise. You have promised before.
But it has nothing to do with the memories of the prof.
It has. How? If you won't allow me, let me give you the balance.
About prof's tenure in office and leave his memories of death out of it. That's all I'm saying. Let's make progress.
I'm making progress. I am making progress. So I'm telling you that if there is anybody who would come and then assume this position, that I am very sensitive to the times we are in, it should not be John Mahama. It should not be John Dramani Mahama. Because, KJ, you know the most astonishing part of this whole exercise. After inheriting oil proceeds, after inheriting oil proceeds, running down an economy, eating the flesh to the bone like he told us on the floor of Parliament. 2015, he had to go to IMF. And I'm telling you, maybe Ghanaians have forgotten. When John Mahama wanted to go to IMF in 2015, in his own words, John Dramani Mahama's words, he says was the IMF were dragging their feet. There's a video. Maybe the next time I come here, I'll give to
Last time you promised that the coup d'etat book.
My first coup d'etat.
You never.
Oh, my first coup d'etat is a popular one on the shelves of.
I know, but you promised that.
Next time I'll bring it. I'm coming. There's a video. Next time I come.
The video about
Andrew Solomon. It's on the internet. John Mahama and Andrew Solomon's meeting. You want me to go back to Andrew Solomon? John Dramani Mahama and Andrew. It's on the please. Please, anybody in the internet should Google John Dramani Mahama and Andrew Solomon. Please, please, if you have it here, please go and look at it.
Let's get some messages.
Please, go and look at it. John Mahama and Andrew Solomon.
Let's get some messages. So this one says, good morning, KMJ. From time to time, our eyes are getting opened. So this year, no grief for anybody. Why all the time the NPP is in agreement with anything the EC says? It shouldn't be what we are thinking. This time, we'll not go grief. Good morning, KMJ. The NPP thought they are all knowing. All they could do is to go in agreement with anything the EC says. Tell them to relax, because they can't. We are ready to rebel. Rebel.
This your platform is very suspicious. This is your test platform.
We've not got in there.
Very suspicious.
We've not got in there yet. Okay. Let me go to this. Let me go to this one. It says, what is this NPP young man saying? You are young, your government has deprived us, the youth of this country, a job, and look at what you are sitting there saying. You think Ghanaians are fools. Well, 2024 is around the corner. Your party, NPP, never again. Good morning, Kevin. Please tell this NPP guy that all his jandam that he's doing would work because Ghanaians are wild away. Okay, let me go through the next one over here. Good morning, KJ. Ghanaians have seen a lot of suffering under JM, so there's no way we can he can win an election in
Never.
Remember, after 2016 election, he said it's now time for him to have time for his family. This dead goat can't be president.
Exactly.
Good morning, Joy TV. Please tell. Okay, so good morning, KMJ. This NPP man is singing songs he can dance. Let me go here. Blueprint writes from Mesikado, Kitan. It says John Mahama is a promise breaker, which means he lied to the good people of Akumfi, and having done that on promising and failure to deliver makes Mahama a liar, and as such, Ghanaians cannot trust him. Dr. Baumia for President 2024. Good morning to Honorable Charles Bisu, the incoming MP for Mesikado, Kitan. This one says that I'm trying to deal with the... you make it short for me, please. Good morning, Kevin, and your panelists. Please, why do you say for the NPP guy to attack the NEC guy on national TV? It's a shame, and he had the right to stop him, but you just start laughing to his comics, he's exhibiting just like his Baumia. I don't know what you're watching, though. Please ask him if not that his Nanado have ceased paying external debt, like the economy would have been vanished by now. A youth of his sort supporting such a useless, wasteful...
Don't be reading this kind of... Don't be reading this kind of...
Your Nanado was bathing in air with Sarah Brony and the rest. You see where you're also going?
No.
You people... good morning, KMG. The NPP guy is destroying your show. This one says that... good morning, Kevin. Are you guys...
He's missing his action. See.
If yes, then he's missing in action. Bush doctor from Koforia. So,
this is from Koforia.
Haven't you heard of Atakambu before? Common name in 2012.
It was everywhere. Everywhere.
Good morning, Mr. Host. Ghanaians are not ready for president in 2025 who will be asking for honeymoon so that he could use that period to loot the states. Ghanaians can't wait for you. NEC will never stop attacking EC without any basis. Drinking tea with biscuit at EC was what Rojo and his team were busy with. NPP has a solution to Ghana's challenges. So that's in Tamale sent in that one. The MPP guy is lost. Okay. Good morning to you as well. I'm sure you're still writing. Good morning, KFJ. I'm so sad how you sat quietly watching this NPP guy channel lies about his co-panelist father. That is gross disrespect to you as your viewers. We don't have faith in the statistics of today because they really don't tell the story. We're supposed to, as a country, to pay the interest on our loans within stipulated time, but as we speak, we are not doing that. And as a country, we don't know the conditional ties behind the foreign debt restructuring. KMG, no journalist has taken any steps to blow it out. We don't know the penalties of our defaulting in debt servicing, but we are all quiet as if we have been bewitched. IMF says our situation is very bad, but life is still going on. No plan, no direction, but living from hand to mouth. That is Walter in Asin Fosu. I'll address some of the issues you're raising, don't worry. Good morning. May Almighty Allah guide and protect you for us, Joy Prime. Mahmoud Baumia is going to retire the former president, inshallah, NPP forever. Alaji Papa Kumasi sent him that. And this one says, good morning, Kev. Metal Nunu is on fire. Great submissions from him. The NPP guy is lost. Another match for Metal Nunu. We as Ghanaians want John Mahama. Elfrida in Ayawa. So sent in that one. And this one says, the NDC don't have any plans for the Ghanaian. They only set Ghana back when they come to power. The NDC man should prepare well when coming next time. Good morning. That's Daniel sent in that one. Let me... okay. This one says, the NPP guy is not serious at all. Good morning, KMJ, the best morning show presenter. Thank you. Our autopsy report is always conducted to ascertain the casualty of the death of even an ordinary person like me. So what is the National Democratic Congress as a political party? We should have known better, saying about the mysterious death of a highly respectable man in our country. A man and an asset for the country dies in such a mysterious manner, and yet autopsy report is provided to ascertain of his unfortunate demise. It is very unfortunate and expected of them. I don't want to believe what I'm thinking. thinking. Nathaniel Nala from Lubusi sent in that one. Make it short for me. This was good morning, guys. My name is Kwakuba Jr. from Mim. I believe the date that EC proposed is right. Therefore, NEC should stop this hypocritical argument and let's move on. Besides, whether change or not, the date NPP will win 2024 election because Inland Port is ongoing. Elimina Buankra, and you wrote it like Elimina Harbour is done. One district, one factory is done. When you guys ready, take your time and do this for me because it's very, very difficult. Trying to read fast so we can get other opinions shared as well. The explanations given by the AC pertaining to the change of dates for the 2024 elections do not simply hold water. I don't want to believe it is one of the schemes to break the eight. How can only the ruling government and the EC supporting these things are not adding up? This one says that the next time you allow any person to talk loosely about passing of Prof. Mills, the person in your station will have to give evidence in the law court. Good morning, KMJ. I voted for NPP in 2016 and 2020 as well, but I'm seriously regretting for having voted them because they are failed Ghanaians. They are only interested in collecting loans and Eurobonds to enrich Oforiatta and his Nanado. They take Ghanaians for fools. This NPP government is better like, okay. And KMJ, please ask the NPP guy who killed Baumi. You see, good morning, KMJ. The honorable panel member from NPP is a credible and fact-oriented speaker. Enjoying your show from Dansman. Godfrey. People really came this morning. Good morning, Joy Prime. Host, please don't allow the NPP guys to be lies. Joy Prime is a serious station. You didn't state which of the lies.
The first message you read.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Host. A very good morning to my friend and brother Nunu. NPP's political party is a disease to us, and we will relegate them come December 2024. NDC and Mahama is the best solution. Yuzu, Eyeza, and he still came back again. Okay, let me go back. KMJ, please tell the NPP guy that if he doesn't get the fact that John Mahama is winning, then he should sleep. Period. Okay. Good morning, KMJ. And NPP guy is nothing but he's lying all the time. If it comes to your platform, he always give you opportunity to lie. Why always lying? We are not fools again. Okay. Good morning. The NDC, I'm glad when people say they are not fools again. The NDC guy is just combining words of his choice without maybe knowing the meaning. John Mahama is just dancing to his tune. He will lose massively coming December 7th general election. So let me. We'll get back to the messages, but let me end over there. So some of the messages that you have sent, I want to address them. So, for example, the one that has to do with Nunu's father. So, Metu Nunu is sitting right here.
Exactly.
And this is something that factually is proven that his father was on a different political party, a different presidential candidate, let me put it that way. And he was also supporting a different presidential candidate. He's got every right to prove what exactly it was.
Even in his own house.
And he even made a submission based on that. How am I supposed to be heckling the person who is making those statements when I know Metal is here to actually, and he actually spoke to that.
He has admitted.
And even admitted to it.
Yes.
And this is no shame.
It's no shame.
Somebody is, Stallion, can you just let me run my show?
Please.
This is somebody who is speaking as a democratic person and has every opportunity to support who he wants to support, and his dad does not even call him and say, I want to arrest you for it. And I should have been heckling the one who was making the statement when he's here to actually answer, and he did exactly that. Calm down, please. And any other person that has made any statement over here, the person had to actually prove it. And there's people who have made statements here, we've told them they can't prove it, they don't make those statements. And we've seen all of that over and over again. So when you're watching, and take your time and send us the messages, all right? And let's follow the conversation. Let's not use emotional, whatever it is that we're going through to make some of these, attacks. It won't end anywhere. It's different if he was not sitting here. But he's sitting here. He has admitted to the very things that the man said. What's the fuss about? No. Let me come back.
Yeah, KMJ. So I admitted to the fact that I was a deputy spokesperson for James' presidential campaign.
Correct.
In Greater Accra. And my dad was in the Communal Force camp.
And that's democracy.
The other issues he spoke about NMS and election, whatever. I didn't comment on that because they are lies. They are lies straight out. And I'm not surprised because he's behaving like the leader of his party, is a world-noted liar in Ghana. They are flag bearer, the current flag bearer, who's a world-noted liar in Ghana. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, all the things he says are lies. And then he has transferred it to the young ones in the NPP. Like my good friend sitting here. And as a young man, he shouldn't pick up lies and behave like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, else it's going to affect his political career. I like to speak to issues when it comes to economic indicators and economic performance of John Dramani Mahama and then the current NPP administration. See, KMJ, in 2016, our public national debt was 120 billion. Today, our public national debt, as at the time John Dramani Mahama was leaving, was 120 billion. As of today, in 2022, as at the last time where the budget 2022 was around 600 billion. Today, it's almost 700 billion plus. KMJ, John Dramani Mahama, at the time was handing over power and during his reign, had only one oil field. At the time we were handing over power to the NPP, Nanado administration, he had added 2 additional oil fields. So Nanado started 2017 with 3 oil fields, as compared to John Dramani Mahama with 1 oil field. KMJ, our public revenue, John Dramani Mahama, his entire administration, our public revenue under John Dramani Mahama was 248 million Ghana cedis, 248 million Ghana cedis. Under Nanado, in their 7 years, Nanado Bawumia, they've had 830 billion in terms of revenue. Look at the amount of money they've borrowed. Look at the amount of money they've gotten as revenue. KMJ, our debt to GDP. Mahama in 2016, the debt to GDP was 56%. Our debt to GDP today is 104%. KMJ, the exchange rates today, John Dramani Mahama, at the time we handed over, was 4.2 Ghana cedis to $1. Today, the dollar, under Nanado Bawumia administration, those who said that they have when the fundamentals of the economy is weak, the exchange rate is going to expose you. Today, the exchange rate between the cedi and the dollar is 12 Ghana cedi per dollar. KMJ, the growth rate under John Dramani Mahama, the growth of our economy, was 3.6%. In 2022, under Nanado Bawumia, they declined. Now they took us to 3.1%. Interest rate, Mahama, in 2016, was 2.5%. Nanado in 2022, interest rate was 40%. You talk about budget deficit. Under John Dramani Mahama in 2016, our budget deficit was 6.1%. When you do the budget and then the amount of money you need to go and borrow to still run the economy, that's the budget deficit. Under Nanado administration, it's 12%. So when you're talking about economic indicators, what economic transformation, what economic strength has this substandard, incompetent NPP administration, led by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as the head of the economic management team, and his Jack Toronto boss, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo? What have they offered Ghanaians? John Dramani Mahama rightly said that Jack Toronto and the small brother, they have nothing better to offer the people of Ghana. When you look at economic indicators, you look at the path that John Dramani Mahama put Ghana on in 2016. Look at Terminal 3. You talk about health facilities. Cheap compounds are health facilities. We built over 3,000 before John Dramani Mahama left power. Look at the regional hospitals that we rehabilitated. Right at your doorstep, the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. Today, when your ministers fell sick during the time of COVID, which hospital saved them? The University of Ghana Medical Center, where my dad was the deputy minister and the one who engineered the building of that hospital. And you sit on national television, you don't even know what you're talking about, and you're a youth, and you think that because you have the opportunity to speak, you spew lies? Why are you learning the trade of lies from your flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? As a young man, speak truth to power. You have a credibility to build for yourself. You have integrity to build for yourself. Don't take up attitudes and characters of people who are known liars. When you Google lies today on the internet, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will pop up. They've lost integrity. When it comes to the economy, they've lost. When it comes to credibility, they've lost. So what is he talking about? So KMD, what I tell the people of Ghana is that, see, when we find ourselves today, the youth of this nation who do not have jobs, the youth of this nation who are struggling to sell on the street to make ends meet, mothers who go to hospital to lie on the floor to deliver, people who have dialysis, they have kidney issues that they need dialysis to survive, that they cannot get dialysis. The price change of food, which has forced Ghanaians to now become football coaches, where some of them play 0-1-1 formation, some of them play 0-0-1 or 0-1-0 formation, which means that they eat in the morning, they don't eat in the afternoon, and they eat in the evening. Or they don't eat in the morning, they eat in the afternoon, they don't eat in the evening. Ghanaians have become magicians living under this current administration. Ghanaians are suffering in their own Ghana, their own country. A country that Yatisikasu. Look at the resources that we have. I cry for this nation. Where has this current NPP led us to? We have gold, we have bauxite, we have manganese, we found lithium, we have cash crops. And we are suffering like this under this administration. An administration that promised us that they were going to bring heaven to Ghana. Administration that promised us they were going to move from taxation to production. And yet, they impose more taxes upon us. Yet they impose more draconian taxes upon us, draining the blood of Ghanaians. Look how people are suffering. If you're not suffering, go on the street and see how people are suffering. People are not able to pay school fees. People are not able to go to hospitals. People are dying from normal ailments. You've borrowed so much, you've got so much revenue, and you have nothing to show. And you have the guts and effrontery, with all your poor economic indicators, when you compare them, to sit on a prestigious station like Joy Prime and spew lies to the people of Ghana. You can do better for yourself. You and your NPP cohorts are noted for lies. You've been incompetent in ruling Ghana. You've imposed suffering on the people of Ghana. And the people of Ghana are resolved to make sure that they liberate themselves from you, the NPP. You are a curse to us. And you are a disease which will cleanse you from the Ghanaian society. Come December 7th, 2024.
Very well. I'm trying to get your messages on Facebook. Okay, no, you just go ahead. Let me just try and get my messages on Facebook.
I'm glad you sat through all of the effusions of this man here, this Highland here. Sat through it and did not interject. I'll be happy. I'll be very happy if you grant me same. KJ, he sat here and he has denied anything NMS and says NMS is a lie. KJ, you know the joy. The joy is this investigative piece that unearthed the 175 million NMS loan rots was done by no other outfits than Joy News. It was Joy News. This very outfit conducted the investigation into the whole NMS bureau when he rightfully mentioned that his father was then deputy health minister. KJ, he has admitted here that in the last NDC presidential primaries, his father, you say, oh, Papa Kasama was Ukobiza why?
No, but deal with the issue as his father and not him.
He made reference.
Yes.
The matter in contention here has to do with his father.
No, Stalin, what I'm saying is, if you are addressing his father, address his father in whatever position he was holding.
Okay.
Don't say his father. His father.
He said.
I know what I'm saying. You're not getting it. I'm
under
saying
his father.
Exactly, but I'm saying he's addressing the issue based on his position and his father's position. And let's be clear with that.
Thank you.
So mention his father's name. Okay. Under his father. Exactly.
My good friend's father.
It's still the same thing. Go ahead.
My good friend's father. He sat here and denied that it did not happen. Luckily for us, this very issue I'm talking about was investigated by your own outfits. Joy News investigated the 175 million loan the Ghanaian taxpayer is paying for to date. That was contracted by then NDC government to build hospitals for Ghanaians. And what happened? What happened? They used part of the loan to go conduct research into their electoral fortunes. And I'm not surprised that Mr. Metonunu today decided that, Adabraka, I cannot continue to support John Mahama. You made me engage in something that is turning out to be an illegality in pursuit of our party's cause. We brought findings of this research to you. He sat here and denied it. I'm reading it. This is the story. Read. October 15, 2018. Part of 175 loan to build hospitals spent on NDC election research. Anybody with a phone, please Google. And let me read. Former President John Mahama. Okay, his picture is there. Joy News investigations. Please, and this is Joy News. I'm sitting on a multimedia, a Joy Prime. I'm sitting on a multimedia platform. If I'm lying, they can call me to order. Joy News investigations have revealed that the Ministry of Health under the Mahama administration, diverted part of a government loan facility on research into the chances of the then governing National Democratic Congress. Taking money to go and build hospitals. You divert it to go and conduct elections, research into your elections. And even the finance of the research, you could not use it. And when you listen to, you see, your father, I like him so much. I've never seen a politician who has decided to be so sincere in the face of strife like him. In the heat of the 2020 elections, he spoke some truths. And I'm not surprised that after 2020, Mr. Metununu says, John Mahama, I will not support you again. I will not support your bid. I will go and support Mr. Dufour. Because when I diverted funds to go and conduct research into how we can win elections and presented it to you, you could not even make good.
Hold on. When I make your statement, make it. Don't say he said he diverted funds.
Oh, please.
So make your statement.
You could not make good of the findings. I'm coming.
So make your statement. Don't say he
when
diverted funds.
I sat here, did not even.
No, I'm just guiding you.
Breathe.
I'm just guiding. Don't say he said.
Guide me. You cannot.
I'm guiding you because don't say he said.
Cambridge Analytica, and you could let me quote Mr.
So you can answer in court.
Oh, please, I'm ready. Please.
You can answer in court.
This is a matter of public record.
You're the host.
This is a matter of public record. You took 175 million of my taxpayers' money. Please.
Who?
The NDC government. I am a taxpayer. I pay taxes.
So are you referencing the NDC government or you're referencing his father?
His father was then the actor. His father was then the. Please, he was a deputy minister of state.
So you're saying he took it?
He was a deputy
So you're
minister
making
of state.
reference to the party.
So you see, no, the man himself has been moaned. He has come to say, how? After going to do this research for you, I'm giving you the findings.
Is that what he said?
Oh, he's on interviews. You could join news. He told them that they did not make good of the findings of the research. You could join news.
Research which was funded with what money?
From parts of 175 million taxes. Loan to build what hospitals. You diverted.
So you can prove.
It is here. I'm not the one saying it. It is Joy News. Joy News investigations told the people of Ghana in 2018. Your father admitted. Please. You think we are joking here, eh? The crimes you people have committed against this country. Please. And let me continue. And you see, when they come and sit on these platforms, and they think they can take people for ransom, I laugh. Because, you know, the Ghanaian people know John Dramani Mahama very well. You are talking about economic indicators. I've told you that John Mahama, if anything economy comes up, and I'll be surprised if he's able to come and stand
mention them
anywhere. I'm surprised if he's able to come and stand out anywhere.
Mention it.
I'm not surprised.
Exchange rate.
I'm not surprised he says he's not going to promise.
Mention it.
John Mahama has told us he's not going to promise.
Help him. Let him mention it. Let him compare.
Why?
You cannot mention it.
He's disrupting your show.
No, go ahead.
He's disrupting your show.
So mention indicators.
I'm not surprised John Mahama is telling us that he cannot promise anything. In fact, the Ghanaian people should give him a honeymoon. In the unlikely event he becomes president in 2025, they should allow him go and rest because in his words, there is very little he can do. What is his business coming to disturb all of us and waste all of us our time? If he knows very well that we should give you taxpayers' money for you to go on honeymoon, governance honeymoon, please, we are serious people. And when he says honeymoon, I know what it means. When John Mahama says honeymoon, I know what it means. It means similar 175 million loans, similar 1.2 billion. And you say the NPP government has what? Gotten resources more than any other government in the history. KJ, let me tell you something. Let me tell you here.
Yeah, run up.
KJ, seated here. Seated here.
Because he has done an analysis of all the indicators.
I don't want to go into his numbers. How can you even, you know why I don't want to give credit to? How can you even talk about 280 million revenue? 280 million what? What did you say? 280 million. Those numbers you quoted, they are fictitious. I won't give you any credit. Please. Please.
Exchange rate, I mentioned 4.2.
Let me
before you read exchange rate, I mentioned 4.2. Today 12. Let him talk to
you. Are going to allow Rojo's.
You let him talk to it.
I'll make reference to his father.
He has
not to his father.
He has nothing to talk about.
His father has a lot of credibility. One of the people I respect so much.
He has nothing to talk about.
The reason why you're making reference.
No, so
talk about indicators.
Sits here and then behaves like this. I get worried.
His father is not.
Talk about indicators.
I'm not surprised.
His father is not.
I'm not surprised.
Talk about indicators.
His father is not an NDC communicator.
Talk about indicators. You
can't. His father says, John Mahama, I won't support you. And you the son.
Blaze says, Mr. Host, tell the NPP guy to stop singing offbeat. He should rehearse well come next time. NDC never again. Dache, Hima Papa Muna says that why is the NPP guy not talking about the NPP primaries being the current topic, but is lamenting on non-existent issues. And he has been offbeat since the start of the show, dodging the topic all the time. Okay, I don't know why I'm not able to. There are about so many of them.
You have not finished.
I'm not sure why it's not.
He's deviated from all your
over there. So, can I get? Okay, I don't know. There are a lot of messages over there, but I'm not able to get access to all of them. Okay, we're wrapping up.
Let me wrap up.
No, you're done.
He started, so I have to wrap up. So let me take my last bite so that he finishes. KG, let me finish because today the heat is too much for him.
Please wrap up for me.
KJ, thank you very much.
And some of the things I laugh about really it's not even about the conversation. It's about what my producers and I have.
KJ, I know why you laugh. You are very much versed in this. You know this is more than perhaps anybody in this room. You understand. So I understand why you are laughing. That when
I'm not laughing because of what you're thinking though.
Let me conclude. Okay. You see, there are some serious aspects of this discussion we cannot run away from. And the seriousness is the fact that today in our country, all of the monumental, like I keep saying, all of the things Ghanaian people had dreamt of when we were children, we had heard. Everybody had said technical vocational education is the way if we ever have any chance of breaking free from poverty. It will come from investment in technical and vocational education. It is President Akufo-Addo who has done the biggest investment in TVET education in our country today. No other government. It is President Akufo-Addo who has built more roads. The last check, and it's a record of parliament that gave it. The NDC has not been able to dispute it. Over 11,000 kilometers of road. KJ, before he became president in 2017, our country's total road network, out of 100%, only 23% of Ghana's road network were paved. Only 23% of Ghana's roads had quota, so to speak, in plain language. Today, under President Akufo-Addo, he's added on additional 11,000 kilometers of roads that we had complained for. We had complained over since independence. I mentioned the famous Accra to Kumasi road that Ghanaians had called dualize the road. President Akufo started. And then Professor Amos did the spats. Immediately, Mr. Metununu's friend came. Basasha, there I call him. Everything ground to a halt. Today, luckily, President Akufo-Addo has come back. It is happening. Accra to Kumasi is happening. And you see, when we talk about these things, people say we are doing politics. When he exits office, that is when the people of Ghana will realize the kind of leader we had. Today, he's leading all of these major road projects. As I speak to you now, our first ever modern standard gauge trains are on test in Poland. The trains you see in London, they are in Poland today. In a few months, you see them in our rails in Ghana on test. The investments in rail. Go to fishing harbors, Elmina Fishing Harbor. And when we talk about this, NDCs and their highlands have the effrontery to be talking about some of these things. Fishing harbors, Elmina Fishing Harbor. It had appeared in every budget statement under Professor Mills. Professor Mills was known to be from the central region. Professor Mills came, no show. John Mahama came, no show. When President Akufo-Addo built it, and I watched the chief, the respected paramount chief of Elmina, when he spoke at the commission of the project, he was in tears. He wept. Sang songs of praise to God. And you can show the video. Your producers are here. They can show it.
Oh, it's still his final back.
Please, let me finish.
No, he's done.
He wept. And these are things NDC had worked with. I promised the people of Elmina, we'll build a fishing harbor. John Mahama went to Elmina and told the people that the fishing harbor, on the very typical of him, doesn't think anything, nothing project, nothing ideas. All he knows is rubbish. It cannot be done. when somebody does it, then he comes to sing.
Muna Summon says that for the NPP, surely don't, and this is from Facebook, says, surely don't trust the NPP, but you have every right as a Ghanaian to trust in the NDC. The NDC has been and still the only political party that has Ghana at heart. After Kwame Nkrumah, believe in the NDC, believe in Ghana, and let's build the better Ghana we want, dear. And okay. Hamza says that, in fact, KMJ, I'm sad and my heart bleeds for this nation. We are where we are today as a nation simply because of the arrogant posture of functionaries of the NPP. They always feel they know it all and they are entitled to govern this country, no one else. Tell the young man of the NPP in insulting intelligence of Ghanaians and credit us with the respect we deserve. The future under this government is pregnant and hopeless. And have mercy, Lord, may God have mercy. And Ken Couch says that, good morning, KMJ. In the midst of all these economic hardships, which is the direct cause of COVID and conflict, Russia-Ukraine, free SHS is ongoing, national health insurance is still in place, workers are paid, roads are being constructed, crime is low, power, electricity is on. A lot of the youth empowerment programs introduced, etc., will definitely retain the NPP because the NDC cannot be an option. As a B in Dansman sent in that one. And Mauto Excel says, good morning, the entire NPP board is corrupted. So they always send their beneficial communicators to come and defend over cover and blind the Ghanaians. The NPP young man should rather remain humble and truthful, or he should also start packing his files at the office because, all right, so those are some of the messages that you have sent. Metal, your last take anywhere.
I can understand why Stallone Nyanku is rented. I can understand why Stallone Nyanku is rented. The same Stallone Nyanku who is the personal assistant at the Ministry of Communications.
Please, I'm
the
not
same Stallone Nyanku.
I'm not the person.
I was sitting here, I was quiet.
Stallone.
The same Stallone Nyanku.
Say a word when you were talking.
The same Stallone Nyanku.
He said a lot.
The same Stallone Nyanku who is the personal assistant at the Ministry of Communication. The same Stallone Nyanku who they organized the patriotic spaces that went to do research into digitization, whatever. They used 50 million Ghana cedi. They said they're going to research into digitization. Ask him where those funds went to.
50 million. Who are you?
15 million Ghana cedis. Ask him where those funds went to. A young man like you, Stallone Nyanku,
if you are
on national television,
said 50.
organized patriotic spaces.
15
Patriotic spaces.
15 million.
Stallone Nyanku.
Tomorrow,
personal assistant.
Tomorrow you will answer.
Personal assistant.
You will hear from
personal assistant.
You see,
personal assistant and Ministry of Communication.
I'm not
Stallone, I was quite talking. So as a young man, trying to build a political career.
I did not even
organize to be corrupt like yourself right now.
Organize it.
You started by being corrupt like yourself. And you have the guts to talk about the man who has built his political career, a man who you not even qualify to be a cleaner in his house.
Stallone, you're not helping the show.
Stallone, I was quiet.
Stallone,
I was quiet.
Stallone, you're not helping the show.
I was quiet. It's alleged. That's 15 million Ghana cedis.
Now he's going to
as a personal assistant, Minister of Communication. Look at the rocks in that ministry. And you had the guys to organize something political out of the ministry using state funds, saying that, Stallone,
it was
Stallone,
patriotic spaces.
KMJ, I was very quiet when he was talking. I was very quiet as he was talking. So you see, if you have skeletons in your cupboard,
you don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm on floor. I'm the one talking. If you have skeletons in your cupboard, you don't talk about old people. See, Stallone Nyanku, today, the same Stallone Nyanku, Minister of Communication, personal assistant. You sit on national television today, have the effrontery to talk about Rojo Metanunu, talking about what? Things you don't even know about. With the alleged rot you've done, you've committed there, with you being the leader and a member of that group.
Of which group?
You sit here and talk about corruption. KMJ, see, I understand you. You change or you're a candidate for the most popular place on the Bukwasi Road. You're a potential candidate, so change.
Of which group?
KMJ.
Yeah.
My last way to viewers is that, you see, when I see these NPP people who have corruption tagged to their name, sit on national television, be talking about corrupt issues, I can understand them because they are candidates for jail. Because John Dramani Mahama spoke yesterday about corruption. He says that when we come, we are going to clean the mess, especially in corruption. Special prosecutor. Today himself, he says he has turned into Uncle Nam, if my tree is right. Uncle Nam.
You tried.
Yeah, he has turned into Uncle Nam because the corruption is fighting him as special prosecutor. So understand, Mama says when it comes to all these investigations will be conducted, all the people who are culpable will go to jail. All these alleged cases I'm talking about, they'll go to jail. So I tell the people of Ghana that our best hope is to vote for John Dramani Mahama. The monumental corruption under this government is unprecedented. And I like the fact that my NPP brother Stalonyaku from the Personal Assistant and Minister of Communication
that's where
has been able to, that's where he works, Personal Assistant and Minister of Communication, has been dodging the issues and he's been engaging in digitization issues. I like the fact Stalonyaku of Ablekuma West, Osla Usu's constituency, Minister of Communication, Personal Assistant. You have just 10 months. Start packing your things well. I like the fact that he's here and he's not been able to talk to the issues. And he's been deviating all along because there's nothing really for them. You look at economic indicators, you look at infrastructure development from roads to schools to hospitals. You talk about hospitals, you have the Bank of Ghana Hospital, Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Maritime Hospital, over 3,000 chip compounds across board. You look at the aviation industry, you look at Terminal 3, you look at rehabilitation of Kumasi Airport, you have the Tamale Airport, you look at schools, that's been renovated, you look at schools, over 123 e-schools are several stages of completion, all tertiary institutions in Ghana, apart from the ones that Kwame Nkrumah built, were all built by the NDC administration. We are the best choice. Economic indicators, they failed Ghanaians. And the youth, we need jobs. The youth want a change. 7 December, let's vote for the man with integrity, the man with credibility, the man we've seen him do it before. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Thank you.
Even your father
thank you very much. You didn't come here because of his father. Sit up.
I have to go.
That would be. These are brothers, so they'll finish here, and you will be sitting in the house, you'll be fighting. When they finish, they'll go and call his father, and they'll tell his father all the things. These people, they're all the same. Anyway, but that will be our conversation this morning. Let me say a big thank you to you guys for making it happen, NDC and MPP. E.A. Metal Nunu Jr. is National Communications Team member for the NDC, joining us this morning here on the show. Thank you so much, my brother, for coming through. And also, Stalon Yako is also coming from the NPP Communications Team member, and I understand he works with the Communications Ministry as well. I didn't know about that.
I represent the new communications.
I didn't know about that. I didn't know where you were.
You know, when you do politics and you want to talk about things you don't know, we'll take it to the fast. I'll give you his full profile.
No, you need to let me have.
Yeah, I'll give you his full profile.
You never told me any of that.
I'll tell you
Stalon, we have to talk.
From his days in tertiary, I'll give you all. Because of time, I didn't talk about all of them. I'll full profile you. I'll tell you everything.
He's been doing politics in tertiary.
You do politics, you don't know where you've come.
Stalon, you need to tell me more about that. But
don't mind Mr. Metal.
Stalon's character, even from university.
Don't mind Mr. Metal.
And you are here today, and you have the opportunity to talk about things like this on national television.
Don't mind Mr. Metal.
You talk about this like this. I'm proud.
Have you met his father? Have you met his father before?
People have made name for this country.
He is the only politician.
People have made name for this country. He has made a name for this country. Look at Legacy, University of Ghana Medical Center.
Wait. In the heat
Look at Legacy in the health sector. And you come and say what? You come and say what?
It's mess on
Stalon Yaku, stop.
The man was very...